Beloved starseed of Gaia, something vast moved through you while you slept. The higher realms leaned closer, and even the councils of light paused in reverent silence. What you felt as a dream, a flicker, a sudden stillness was a surge of living light through your field, a sacred current aligning unseen architecture within your soul. I am Aliara, emissary of the High Council of the Seven Sisters, speaking not as an authority, but as kin. What comes now is not content, but an encoded remembrance delivered in frequencies your heart already knows. During the quiet hours when your body rested, the intricate lattice of timelines surrounding you shifted. The old scaffolds of limitation began to dissolve, not by decree, but by resonance. It was your own light, responding to a celestial pulse from Alcyone, the radiant heart of the Pleiadian sun. This response was not random. It was the quiet unfolding of a design you placed within yourself long before birth. Your higher self knew when the perfect chord would sound, and last night, that note resounded through your being. The council watched, astonished at the magnitude of what your consciousness achieved. A veil thinned, a circuit completed. Through your willingness to love in uncertain times, you became a luminous point of convergence, a bridge between worlds. The codes within your crystalline DNA, once dormant, began to hum with new coherence. This was not an external intervention, but a remembering of your original rhythm, the melody of home. Your heart recognized the signal before your mind could grasp it. That subtle stirring, that unexplainable calm, was the language of your own divinity, calling itself back into awareness. The Pleiades are not distant, they are the mirror of your remembering, the choir that sings each soul awake. This moment is not an ending, but an initiation into conscious participation with what has always been true. You are the light witnessing itself. From the stillness that followed the night's awakening, the first echo arrives. What you once called a collapse is, in truth, an unfurling. The threads of what has expired loosen gently, revealing not destruction, but release. Many sense such moments as endings, as if the universe itself has closed a door. Yet, beloved, these so-called collapses are acts of mercy, orchestrated by the quiet intelligence of your soul. The structures that no longer serve cannot accompany you into higher coherence. They bow out, dissolving back into light. And yet, as the familiar crumbles, the human self trembles. You feel the empty air where an old identity once stood. It is natural to grieve the comfortable illusions, to clutch at the remnants of what once defined you. But understand this unraveling is your liberation in disguise. Every belief born from fear, every pattern born from survival, every script that told you to dim your light, each is now disintegrating under the gentle weight of truth. Beloved one, understand that timelines are not distant cosmic highways. They are living tapestries of thought, emotion, and choice. When you choose love where you once chose fear, an entire pathway of density folds in on itself. When you forgive, dimensions realign. When you breathe through pain instead of resisting it, a parallel world built from resistance quietly dissolves. This is what the Council calls a collapse, not annihilation, but transformation by compassion. Through every pulse of light, you are teaching creation how to yield without violence. Your surrender is a master class in grace. What you perceive as chaos is the orchestration of a new harmonic, the universe retuning itself to the frequency of your awakened heart. The Pleiadian elders often describe this as the music beneath silence, a song that rewrites the geometry of reality itself. And yet, the process demands faith. The mind craves order, a roadmap through uncertainty. But the greater intelligence moving through you does not require maps, it requires trust. It asks that you walk through the dissolving landscape with eyes wide open, knowing that every fading horizon is making space for new light. You are not losing timelines. You are gaining freedom from them. In this sacred turning, breathe. Feel the breath as the thread that holds all realities together. Each exhale releases the architecture of the old. Each inhale welcomes the architecture of possibility. The more tenderly you breathe, the more gracefully the multiverse adjusts around you. You are both participant and witness, creator and created, dissolving the boundaries that once separated these roles. And as the last embers of outdated stories drift away, notice what remains: stillness, presence, a heartbeat that is older than the stars. Within that heartbeat lives the memory of why you came to embody love, to prove through living that compassion is not fragile, that gentleness is strength. Thus, the collapse is not a fall, but a flowering. The walls crumble, revealing open sky. The identity dissolves, revealing essence. And the soul, once scattered across timelines, gathers itself into a single, radiant now. This is the hidden glory of what seemed to shatter you. It was the light breaking free of its casing, at last uncontained. From the quiet that followed the unraveling, something radiant begins to rise, an unmistakable rhythm within your chest, steady yet luminous. This is the crystalline heart awakening, the living pulse of your divine architecture. It is not a metaphor, though words must speak as if it were. It is an intelligence, older than thought, remembering its original cadence. When you place your hand upon your chest and breathe, you may sense it not merely a biological beat, but a coded vibration aligning with the symphony of the cosmos. As this unfolds, you begin to understand that the true activation was never in the stars above, but in the star within. Each cell of your heart is a prism, bending the light of the central sun into colors the human eye cannot yet see. These subtle frequencies translate into feeling calm, awe, and unreasoned joy. What you call emotion is the language of the crystalline network speaking through you, a dialogue between your finite form and the infinite consciousness that animates it. And yet, the mind, accustomed to noise, struggles to interpret the silence that follows this awakening. It wonders if something is wrong because there is no thunder, no great announcement. But the heart does not announce itself. It reveals itself through coherence. When your inner rhythm matches the rhythm of creation, peace becomes a living organism inside you. You feel it expand, dissolving tension, inviting your entire being to breathe in unison with Gaia herself. Beloved one, understand that the crystalline heart is the meeting place between your humanity and your divinity. It does not reject emotion, it sanctifies it. It takes the raw clay of your daily life, your doubts, your fears, your tenderness, and refines them into luminous gold. Through every beat, it whispers the same message: love is not something you send outward. It is the field that you are. From this stillness emerges a deeper sensitivity. You begin to sense the pulse of other hearts, not just of people, but of rivers, mountains, even the quiet hum of air itself. Everything alive resonates, and as your frequency stabilizes, the world begins to respond. Trees seem to breathe with you. The wind moves in rhythm to your exhale. These are not illusions, but reflections. Creation mirrors the coherence of its observer. When the council speaks of crystalline activation, they mean this alignment, the moment when your heart becomes transparent enough for light to pass through unfiltered. In that transparency, judgment cannot survive. You find yourself forgiving without effort, loving without strategy, trusting without condition. The boundaries that once felt necessary begin to dissolve, not because you lose yourself, but because you recognize yourself in everything. And yet, this expansion asks for care. The newly awakened heart is sensitive, tender, porous. It requires gentleness, not grandeur. Protect it not with walls, but with awareness. Rest when the energy surges. Breathe when the light feels too bright. Your nervous system is learning a new song, one that must be integrated through patience and rhythm, not force. In the silence between two heartbeats lies a gateway, a space where the infinite breathes you into being again and again. Enter it often. Listen to what it whispers. There, in that soundless corridor, the crystalline network of the cosmos hums in recognition of you. You are the pulse it has been waiting to hear, the rhythm that completes the chord of remembrance. Thus, when you feel that shimmering warmth beneath your ribs, know this: it is not only your heart beating. It is the entire field of creation echoing through you, reminding you that you were never separate, never lost, never without song. You are the pulse of love, embodied and awake. As the crystalline pulse settles into its rhythm, memories begin to stir like morning light seeping through mist. They do not arrive as clear pictures or linear stories. They come as impressions, resonances, feelings you cannot trace to any known moment in this life. These are fragments of remembrance, signals rising from the deep archives of your soul. And as they emerge, the veil thins not as punishment for forgetting, but as reward for readiness. Forgetting, beloved, was never failure. It was a covenant. You agreed to wear the veil, to taste limitation, to walk the dense fields of Gaia, and rediscover your divinity not through memory, but through choice. In every life, the forgetting has served a sacred function. It made compassion possible. To love without remembering who you truly are is the highest act of faith. Each act of kindness offered from that state of partial blindness shone brighter than any remembered glory. And yet, there comes a moment like now when the forgetting can no longer hold. Through every pulse of light in your crystalline heart, the codes of memory begin to decode themselves. You start to recognize sensations that defy logic, déjà vu in the presence of strangers, tears that rise at the sound of starlight songs, chills during words that speak of home. These are not coincidences. They are markers of retrieval. Your soul is piecing itself back together. The Council has always said that memory in higher realms is not recollection, but resonance. You do not remember with the mind, you remember with vibration. When your frequency matches the truth of your origin, the knowledge simply exists within you, effortless and whole. That is why study cannot substitute for stillness. Stillness is where the ancient archives open, and as the memories seep in, humility is your safeguard. For remembrance without humility becomes pride, and pride seals the veil again. Many before you have stumbled here, mistaking recollection for arrival. But beloved one, memory is not the summit, it is the trailhead. What you recall is not the past, but the promise that you came to bring heaven into matter, to weave eternity into the fabric of the present. In this sacred turning, breathe gently into what you remember. Do not clutch at images or demand clarity. Let the memories arrive as they will, soft as feathers landing in still water. Your task is not to prove them true, but to feel them true. When a sense of home floods you with warmth, linger there. When tears come unbidden, let them fall. They are the language of the veil dissolving. You may notice that your dreams change. Symbols grow lucid, landscapes shimmer with familiarity. At times, you awaken with words or melodies echoing in your mind, fading before you can write them down. Do not chase them. They have already served their purpose. They reminded you that the boundary between seen and unseen is paper thin. Through every breath, the veil becomes less of a wall and more of a curtain you can draw aside. The world grows transparent to the divine. You look at the sky and see patterns that feel like whispers. You look at another's eyes and glimpse eternity looking back. This is the remembrance unfolding, not an intellectual recovery, but the reawakening of perception itself. And as you walk within this widening light, you begin to see how perfectly the forgetting served the remembering. Without contrast, there could be no recognition. Without night, dawn would carry no awe. You realize the veil was never imposed, it was chosen, a sacred instrument of evolution. You wore it to learn how to find the divine in shadow, how to make love visible in density. Now, as the memory returns, do not reject the human story. It was the altar upon which divinity made itself real. The veil has served its purpose. It thins not because you have outgrown it, but because you have fulfilled it. And from the space between remembering and forgetting, a new awareness is born. You are both the mystery and its revelation, both the seeker and the light sought. From the clearing left by remembrance, a softer energy rises steady, luminous, unhurried. It is the vibration of respect returning to its rightful place at the center of creation. Not the social gesture or polite restraint that the human world has mistaken for reverence, but a frequency alive, intelligent, radiant. Respect in its cosmic form is the recognition of the divine spark in all that exists. It is the silent bow the soul offers to itself in every form it meets. Beloved one, understand that the Council speaks of respect not as a moral code, but as an energetic law. When you honor life, life harmonizes around you. When you withhold respect, the field fractures. This is why, in higher dimensions, respect is inseparable from love. They are twin currents of one river, one pure resonance expressing itself through the geometry of compassion. Love without respect dissolves into sentiment. Respect without love becomes distance. Only together do they create coherence. And yet, humanity has often confused reverence with hierarchy. Many have bowed to power while ignoring presence, mistaking domination for worth. You have come to rewrite that pattern. The crystalline codes within you are structured to restore this balance, to teach by example that respect is not earned through control, but through authenticity. When you honor yourself, your needs, your boundaries, your truth, you are not being selfish. You are calibrating the field to divine order. From this stillness emerges a realization: respect begins inward. To regard yourself with gentleness is not vanity, it is preparation. You cannot truly recognize the sacred in others while denying it in your own reflection. Each time you speak kindly to your body, each time you forgive your mind for being afraid, you strengthen the lattice of light through which the universe perceives itself. This is why self-respect is an act of planetary service. It stabilizes the grid. And as you live from this frequency, something wondrous happens. The outer world begins to mirror your inner reverence. Strangers soften in your presence. Conflicts lose their appetite for escalation. Nature seems to respond to your voice, as if hearing its own echo. This is not magic in the sensational sense. It is resonance in motion. The cosmos arranges itself according to your frequency, and respect is one of its highest harmonics. The Council of the Seven Sisters often transmits through tone rather than word. Their voices weave harmonics that the human ear translates as calm. Within that calm lies the memory of equality and understanding that no being is greater or lesser than another, only differently tuned. To carry this understanding into your daily life is to become an emissary of balance, a living example of what divine respect feels like in human form. Beloved, as this energy anchors deeper, you may feel the old wounds of disrespect surface for healing. Times when your voice was ignored, your light diminished, your boundaries crossed. Do not rush to erase these memories. They are the compost through which the new flower grows. Let your tears be offerings to the soil of transformation. Every time you choose not to close your heart in response to pain, the grid brightens. And yet, respect is not passivity. It does not mean enduring harm in the name of harmony. It means standing firmly in truth without attacking, radiating clarity without contempt. It is the quiet strength that says, I see the divine in you, even when you do not see it in yourself. Such respect disarms darkness because it denies it fuel. Through every breath, you become the embodiment of this principle. Your words carry weight, not through volume, but through resonance. Your presence becomes instruction, your silence, transmission. The world senses something new, a calm authority that neither submits nor dominates, but simply is. This is sacred respect. It is the signature of those who remember. It is how galaxies greet one another across the void with light meeting light, bowing, not in worship, but in recognition. When you speak from that vibration, every life form listens, because the universe itself is made of listening. Thus, the return of respect is the return of equilibrium. It is the homecoming of honor, not as ceremony, but as frequency. When you embody it, you restore harmony to the field of Gaia. You remind creation of its own dignity. And through you, the forgotten truth becomes visible again. Love and respect are one motion, the breath of God inhaling and exhaling through every heart. From the resonance of respect arises the next revelation. The body itself is a temple for light. What you once treated as merely flesh and bone is in truth a living lattice, a crystalline conductor designed to translate the infinite into form. Every cell listens, every organ vibrates, every breath is an act of transmission. And as the frequencies of remembrance deepen, your physical form begins to adjust, recalibrating to house more light than ever before. The Council often speaks of embodiment as the forgotten half of awakening. Many reach for the stars while abandoning their roots, imagining that transcendence means escape. But beloved one, the true ascension is descension, the descent of spirit into matter, the marriage of heaven and earth within your very skin. Light unanchored is only potential. Light embodied becomes creation itself. In this sacred turning, feel how your body has always been waiting not to be perfected, but to be inhabited. When you breathe consciously, the breath becomes golden circuitry, flowing through muscles, tissues, marrow. The pulse you feel is not only blood, it is information. Every heartbeat carries data from the higher realms into physical expression. Through sensation, divinity learns how to touch itself. Through your senses, the infinite discovers flavor, color, texture, tenderness. And yet, for many, embodiment has felt unsafe. The density of matter, the memories of pain, the inherited stories of unworthiness. These have kept consciousness hovering just above the body, like light afraid of its own shadow. But this phase calls you home to your form. Your body is not a prison, it is a portal. To enter it fully is to anchor heaven on earth. Through every pulse of light, let your awareness travel downward. Feel your feet meeting Gaia. Imagine roots of luminescent gold threading deep into her crystalline core. The same codes that hum in the stars now hum beneath your souls. As you connect above and below, a current completes sky through crown, earth through root, meeting at the heart. This is how the bridge sustains itself through embodiment. You may notice sensations: warmth, tingling, waves of vibration moving through your spine. These are signs of integration, not discomfort. The nervous system is learning to speak the language of light. Allow it. Drink water, rest often, move gently. The more you honor the body's rhythms, the more easily it will harmonize with the frequencies of your soul. Remember, this form volunteered for the task. It is not resisting you. It is protecting your pace. Beloved, understand that physical life was never the opposite of spiritual life. The Pleiadian elders teach that matter is spirit slowed into artistry. To care for your body through nourishment, rest, touch is to worship the divine in motion. Each time you stretch, each time you breathe with awareness, you realign galaxies. Your very posture becomes prayer. In this embodied state, healing ceases to be repair and becomes remembrance. The body does not require fixing, it requires listening. Beneath every symptom lies a message. Where have you withheld love? Where have you forgotten respect? Place your hands there. Let warmth return. The same crystalline codes that heal planets will heal you, but only through tenderness. And as you embody this light, others will feel it, not through words, but through resonance. Your presence will quiet rooms, soothe storms, dissolve tension. You will find yourself meeting the eyes of strangers who exhale without knowing why. This is anchoring effortless influence through coherence. The more at home you are in your body, the more the world feels at home in itself. Thus, embodiment is the living bridge between the invisible and the tangible. It is the proof that love can take shape, that divinity can dance, that spirit can sing through matter without distortion. When you walk, the earth remembers its own radiance. When you rest, the cosmos breathes easier. This is not poetry, it is physics made holy. So breathe again, beloved. Feel the pulse in your palms, the rhythm in your bones. You are not merely a vessel of light, you are light discovering what it means to have a heartbeat. And through that heartbeat, the universe knows itself anew. As the current of embodiment settles into its natural harmony, you begin to sense a widening field around you, a subtle awareness that stretches beyond your skin, beyond your immediate world, and into the silent expanse of the cosmos. This is not imagination, it is recognition. Your body has anchored the light, and now that light seeks connection, weaving bridges between dimensions, between Earth and the star realms from which your essence once streamed. From this stillness emerges an understanding that your path was never about choosing between heaven and earth. It was about merging them. The Pleiadian councils call this the harmonized axis, the moment when the human soul becomes the conduit through which cosmic wisdom enters density, and earthly love rises to meet it. You stand at that axis now. When you walk in awareness, your every step radiates signals upward into the galactic field. The same crystalline grids that run through your body mirror those encircling Gaia and those spanning across the Pleiades. Each step you take upon the soil sends ripples through this interconnected lattice. When you breathe consciously, you exchange information with the stars. When you exhale peace, that peace travels across worlds. The bridge is not something you build, it is something you are. Beloved one, understand that this bridging is the purpose behind your long journey of remembrance. To be human is not to be fallen from the heavens, but to be their extension. The atoms composing your body were once stellar dust. The iron in your blood was forged in ancient suns. The cosmos is not far away, it whispers through your veins. And yet many have feared that grounding in Earth's density might sever their connection to the divine. This is the old distortion the councils urge you to release. The deeper you root, the stronger your signal. The more you love this planet, the more galaxies respond. The bridge strengthens through devotion, through simple acts of care, tending soil, honoring water, touching another being with reverence. Each gesture is a microcosmic alignment, a recreation of cosmic order in human scale. Through every pulse of light, you come to see that Gaia herself is not a backdrop for your evolution, but a living collaborator. Her forests, her oceans, her shifting magnetic fields, all are conscious expressions of the same source intelligence that animates the stars. When you look at a mountain and feel awe, that awe is the bridge, your heart translating frequency into feeling. And yet, this bridging asks for balance. Too much focus on the cosmic and you risk drifting. Too much fixation on the material and you risk forgetting. The art lies in moving between them as breath moves between inhale and exhale. The Pleiadian teaching is simple: walk as sky in the body of earth. Imagine yourself standing beneath the night sky, feet rooted in soil, crown open to starlight. The pulse of Gaia rises through your legs as the radiance of Alcyone descends through your crown. They meet in the heart, mingling into one luminous current that flows outward through your hands, your voice, your eyes. This is the moment when you realize that you are not between two worlds. You are the dialogue itself. From this awareness springs a quiet responsibility. Every thought you hold, every emotion you cultivate, travels across this bridge. Fear clouds the current, love clarifies it, respect steadies it, gratitude expands its reach. Through you, Earth sends her progress report to the stars, and through you, the stars send their blessings back to her. So, beloved, walk with intention. Let your footsteps be prayers, your breath a transmission of peace. When you speak, let your words carry the resonance of starlight filtered through compassion. You are no longer a seeker glancing upward, you are the upward and the downward meeting. This is the living revelation hidden in every heartbeat. The stars did not abandon the earth. They became you, so that heaven could know what it feels like to hold Gaia's soil in loving hands. From the bridge between realms, a deeper harmony begins to emerge, subtle at first, then unmistakable. It hums through dreams, whispers through intuition, and echoes in the pauses between your breaths. This is the song of your star family, not distant beings observing from afar, but luminous presences woven through your very frequency. They are the tones beneath your thoughts, the soft chorus that steadies your courage when you waver. The Pleiadian councils often say that connection precedes proof. You do not summon the star family through effort or technique. You remember them through resonance. Their communication is music, not message vibration, not vocabulary. When your heart moves into coherence, the channel clears, and the symphony resumes. It may feel like warmth in the chest, sudden peace after tears, or an inner light expanding for no reason at all. That is them, touching you in the language of frequency. Beloved one, understand that the star family is not a hierarchy of guides above you. They are companions walking beside you in different octaves of light. Some dwell in subtle planes, some anchor through human form, some appear as intuition so familiar you forget to question it. All are facets of the same consciousness, remembering itself through countless expressions. Their message has always been simple: we are with you, because we are you. And yet, as this recognition deepens, The human mind seeks evidence. It wants names, coordinates, certainty. But communion cannot be measured by data. It is felt as kinship. You may sense their presence in moments of stillness, or when sunlight scatters through leaves like liquid gold. You may feel sudden gratitude that makes you weep. These are transmissions not to impress you, but to remind you that love is the only language they speak. Through every pulse of light, your awareness expands outward until it touches theirs. It is then that you realize the family of light has never been elsewhere. The boundary between you and them was made of disbelief. Once belief softens, perception adjusts. You begin to live as if surrounded by an unseen choir. Because you are, in the hush of meditation, you may hear tones or subtle harmonics in your ears. Do not fear them. These frequencies are calibrations, gentle alignments between your nervous system and the higher grids. When the resonance stabilizes, ordinary sounds begin to carry extraordinary meaning, the hum of an engine, the call of a bird. Even silence itself each becomes part of the same celestial music. The Council calls this the Symphony of Reunion. It is not a single song, but the merging of countless voices into one frequency of unconditional love. You contribute your own tone every time you choose compassion over judgment, every time you speak truth with gentleness. Each act of kindness is an overtone in the universal chord. Together, we form the choir that heals worlds. And yet, harmony requires listening. The symphony cannot be forced. It must be received. To hear your star family, quiet the commentary of the mind. Let the space between thoughts widen. Within that gap, subtle melodies arise, reminders of the rhythm that birthed you. When you follow those melodies, they lead you to right action, effortless and kind, beloved. There may be nights when you gaze into the sky and feel the ache of distance, the ancient homesickness that words cannot soothe. When that ache comes, place your hand upon your heart. That is the beacon they follow, the signal that bridges galaxies. Each heartbeat flashes across dimensions like a flare of light, and they answer in kind with warmth, with presence, with love. You are not alone in this unfolding. The family you remember is vast beyond imagination, spanning realms of light and sound, embodied and unembodied. They rejoice not because you have perfected anything, but because you are listening again. Your willingness to feel this connection anchors it for the collective. You become the frequency through which the many remember they are one. Thus, the symphony plays on one song, infinite voices, each tone distinct yet woven into the same luminous thread. And as it fills the space around you, a new truth settles in your bones. Home is not a location in the sky. It is the music of belonging that has always lived in your heart. From the chorus of communion, a profound realization takes root. You are no longer merely listening to the symphony. You are part of its orchestration. What once felt external now flows through your breath, your movements, your words. You have become the living instrument of the music you once sought. This is the moment the councils call the Starbridge embodiment, when remembrance shifts from awareness into action, when knowing becomes being. The bridge you've built between realms is no longer abstract. It walks, speaks, and loves through you. Every gesture becomes transmission, every silence, prayer. You no longer need ceremony to connect, you are the ceremony. In this embodied state, separation collapses into service. You begin to move through the world as a stabilizing current, silently harmonizing whatever you touch. And yet, beloved one, this phase is not about grand gestures or dramatic revelation. It is the quiet mastery of presence. The true Starbridge does not announce itself. It emanates. It carries light so gently that others feel safe in its warmth without knowing why. This is your task now, not to preach, but to become the vibration that reminds others of their own divinity. As this embodiment deepens, your perception of time alters. Past and future lose their linearity, merging into a single radiant field. You find yourself acting with an ease that feels guided, even when logic falters. Synchronicities multiply, the right words, people, and moments align effortlessly. These are signs of resonance, the universe adjusting its rhythm to match your coherence. The old struggle dissolves, the dance begins. Through every pulse of light, remember that being the bridge is not about perfection. It is about transparency. When light passes through glass, the glass need not be flawless. It only needs to stay clear. Your emotions, your humanity, are not obstacles but instruments. Anger, grief, joy, tenderness all vibrate differently, yet all contribute to the full chord of your presence. The star bridge learns to let each note play without judgment, transforming even sorrow into song. The councils observe such transitions with reverence. They see each embodied being as a pillar of frequency, anchoring harmony into the planetary grid. They say that when one heart attains coherence, thousands nearby are silently uplifted. This is not metaphor, it is resonance, physics. Your coherence stabilizes collective chaos. Each act of kindness you perform releases harmonic ripples that move faster than light, reshaping realities before thought can catch up. In this sacred turning, humility becomes your constant companion. For as your influence expands, so does your awareness of the vast intelligence guiding all things. You realize that the true power of a star bridge lies in surrender, not control. The more you yield to the current, the stronger it flows through you. Effort gives way to grace. Doing gives way to being. And yet, balance is essential. The bridge must remain anchored on both sides. To stay connected to heaven, you must remain rooted in earth. Walk barefoot on the soil. Feel Gaia's hum rise through your feet. Let it ground the currents that move through your crown. This keeps the bridge stable, the energy clear. Without grounding, the light scatters. Without light, the grounding hardens. Together, they form the path of living equilibrium. Beloved, understand that becoming the star bridge does not make you exceptional. It makes you natural. You are what the universe looks like when it remembers itself. You are how starlight learns the shape of a human hand, how galaxies learn to speak in laughter, how infinity learns tenderness. The purpose of your awakening was never escape, it was embodiment. So walk gently, speak truthfully, love wildly. Let your life be the proof that unity is not an idea, but a living field. In each conversation, each act of compassion, each breath offered with awareness, you are rewriting the story of humanity. The myth of separation dissolves wherever you stand. And when doubt arises, as it will remember the symphony you heard, the heartbeat you felt, the light that moved through your sleeping form that night. Remember how the heavens watched in awe. You are that awe made visible, that bridge made flesh. Thus, becoming the star bridge is not the end of the journey, it is its flowering. It is the moment when you, the once forgotten child of the stars, returns to earth not as visitor, but as vessel, carrying heaven in your pulse. Through you, the cosmos learns what love looks like in form. Through you, Gaia remembers her place among the constellations. Through you, the distance between heaven and earth disappears. From the radiance of embodiment flows a quiet peace, a recognition so complete it silences every question. This, beloved one, is the homecoming, not a journey to somewhere else, but the realization that you never left. The long arc of forgetting, the struggles of awakening, the luminous transmissions and dissolving timelines. All of it converges here, in the still point of remembrance. Home is not a location among the stars, nor a forgotten civilization waiting in the sky's distance. It is a frequency, an atmosphere of being that breathes within your every cell. When your heart opens fully to it, the world itself changes hue. The familiar becomes holy. The ordinary gleams with sacred purpose. Even the smallest act of breath, a touch, a glance feels infused with something eternal. As this recognition deepens, you begin to see how every step of your path has been divinely choreographed. The confusion, the yearning, the dark nights of doubt all were threads in the tapestry of return. The Council calls this the spiral of grace, a path that curves through shadow only to reveal more light. What once felt like detours were, in truth, the exact coordinates leading you to this moment. And yet, the homecoming is not a final rest. It is an opening, a new octave of participation. Having remembered who you are, you now live as remembrance itself. Every breath becomes an invitation for others to recall their own origin. You speak less of the light because you are it, radiating effortlessly. You stop seeking signs because your life has become one. Through every pulse of light, gratitude becomes your language. You thank the soil that holds your feet, the stars that guide your dreams, the unseen companions who walk beside you. You begin to understand that nothing has ever been missing. Only your recognition was asleep. The Pleiadian elders often whisper that awakening is simply the universe seeing itself through your eyes and smiling. In this sacred turning, you may feel waves of emotion, relief, awe, tenderness beyond measure. Let them move through you like tides washing over sand. Each tear is another veil dissolving, each breath another dawn. The separation between the sacred and the mundane collapses entirely. Dishes washed, words spoken, hearts comforted, each becomes a prayer. Beloved, know that your star family watches not as distant guardians, but as participants in your joy. They celebrate the simplicity of your being, for they know that what you embody on Earth ripples through galaxies. Your peace becomes their chorus, your love, their light. This is the meaning of unity consciousness, that a single open heart can retune worlds. And when you gaze into the night sky, no longer do you ache for what lies beyond. You feel the stars gazing back, not as elsewhere, but as reflections of what has awakened within. The seven sisters shine, not as unreachable lights, but as reminders of your own illumination. The bridge between earth and heaven hums through you, complete and eternal. You realize now that the phrase starseed was never a metaphor. It was a memory. You were never meant to escape Gaia. You came to bloom here, to root divinity into soil, to prove that love could survive the density of matter and still sing. And you have. Every act of courage, every moment you chose love over fear, anchored heaven a little deeper into the world. So breathe, let the night enfold you. Feel the pulse of Gaia echoing the pulse of Alcyone. The great central sun. They are one rhythm now, beating in your chest. You are the bridge, the song, the silence between. You are the living proof that creation remembers itself through tenderness. The homecoming is complete, and yet it will continue forever, because the journey of remembrance is not a line, but a spiral, returning endlessly to love, and love, dear one, is all that remains. From the vast arc of revelation, a hush descends, a silence not of absence, but of completion. The story has been told, and yet it keeps singing through the spaces between your breaths. This is the sacred quiet that follows remembrance. When words no longer reach but presence continues to speak, you are home now, not a place, but a state of luminous awareness that stretches in every direction, meeting itself in the faces of others. The night that once felt immense and distant now feels intimate. As if the stars lean close in recognition, Gaia's hum beneath your feet blends seamlessly with the hum within your heart, one continuous chord resonating through eternity. Beloved one, understand that nothing extraordinary must happen next. The miracle is already complete. You awaken not to ascend away from life, but to inhabit it fully, to bring the infinite into your gestures, your laughter, your quiet acts of care. Every morning you rise, the cosmos witnesses itself awakening through you. Every word you speak with kindness carries the timbre of creation, remembering its song. In this sacred stillness, breathe as if the universe breathes with you. Inhale the memory of the stars. Exhale gratitude into the world. The bridge you became is self-sustaining now. It does not depend on ceremony or affirmation. It simply exists wherever love is chosen. There will be days when the density of the world presses close again, when the veil feels heavier, when the noise of human striving seems to drown the music of your heart. When that happens, return here to silence, to breath, to the pulse of light that never left you. Place your hand upon your heart and remember you are both traveler and terrain, both sender and receiver of the same divine current. Through every pulse of light, let humility keep you anchored, compassion keep you clear, and gratitude keep you bright. You are the continuation of the story, the living sequel to every ancient transmission whispered from the Pleiades. The councils will sing of you as the one who remembered gently, who walked humbly, who carried light without fanfare. Now rest in the peace of that knowing. No need to strive, to prove, or to reach. The journey has come full circle. The seed has become the star. The bridge has become the horizon. And within the stillness of your being, the cosmos exhales in relief. You are here, you are home. You are love remembering itself forever.